welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting webinar on transforming trade, digitalization, leadership, and well-being in global markets. My name is Ron Alasco, and I will be your moderator for today's session. We are thrilled to have you here. Before we begin, let's go over some few housekeeping items to ensure a smooth experience for everyone. For audio and video, all participants will remain on mute during the session to minimize background noise. Can you please confirm if you can hear me and if you can see the slides? Please type yes in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can see the slides. Perfect, thank you. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A section. We will address them during the Q&A segment at the end. Feel free to engage in the chat, but please keep it professional and relevant to the topic. This session is recorded and will be replayed and uploaded to our ITC YouTube channel. So if you experience any issue, please feel free to contact me to the chat box. So it's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. George Varghese, founder and director of VSolve India Private Limited. We're honored to have him today sharing their insights on transforming trade, digitalization, leader, and well-being in global market. This webinar will explore the transformative role of digitalization in global market, highlighting leadership models that balance technology adoption with human adaptability. You'll learn strategies for integrating mental well-being into organizational change and gain actionable insights to foster resilience and innovation across business ecosystems. So without any further ado, let's welcome our speaker, Dr. George Varghese. The virtual stage is yours. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Ron, for the introduction. To start with the presentation, hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here at the International Trade Council webinar. My name is Dr. George Varghese, and today we will be discussing a critical transformation shaping global markets and how digitalization, leadership, and mental well-being are driving trade and business successes together. In today's talk, we will explore how MSMEs, SMEs, and large corporations are leveraging technology for global advantage. This will be supported by real world-class studies from companies like Amazon, Netflix, Reliance, Infosys, Tesla, and Tata. Looking at the topic itself, we will be understanding that there are three pillars here. One is digitalization, second is leadership, and third is mental well-being. All the three pillars hold their own importance. And throughout my career and journey for the last 18 to 20 years, I've seen them individually perform at the same time intersect and create influence into the global market. Today, let's dive into the next slide, starting with digitalization. Digitalization is not a trend. It's a fundamental shift defining trade and commerce. By end of 2024, global digital trade is projected to grow to $33 trillion with an 8.8% year-on-year growth rate. One of the most profound shifts in global trade is the integration of AI-driven supply chain and blockchain technology. The companies mentioned on the slide were studied by the company for over years, and we realized how they are performing well at digitalization. Talking about AI is optimizing logistics, enhancing predictive analytics, and improving supply chain efficiency, as we all are aware. For example, predictive AI reduces downtime in manufacturing by anticipating maintenance needs. Blockchain, on the other hand, ensures transparency and security in transactions. It also helps in cutting invoice processing time by over 40%. Real-world applications show how digitalization is making businesses more agile, resilient, and customer-centric. Now, coming on to the benefits of MSME and SME, they are performed. To start with, digitalization has helped them to break the traditional entry barriers, leveraging the cloud computing for scalability and accelerating market penetration. This has helped MSMEs and SMEs. We are entering a future where digital trade is not an option, but a necessity. Now let's look at the adoption of AI and digital tools by global companies. Here we see that these are not just limited to tech companies, but it is spread over industries and businesses, and they are all embracing this innovation. Let's take a look at the companies on this slide. Microsoft, Tesla, Siemens, Amazon, JP Morgan, Airbnb, Merck, and even educational platforms like Coursera are integrating AI into their operations. From AI-driven logistics and retail to automated digitalization in healthcare, from fintech solutions in banking to smart grid in energy, we find digital transformation is everywhere. The companies leading this change are not just adopting new technologies, they are redefining industry standards. Digital transformation is not just for large corporations. SMEs, MSMEs are also driving innovation with AI. Let's consider companies like Narrative Science USA, which uses AI to turn structured data into natural language narratives. Lokpal India, on the other side, which helps create hyper-local news and job platforms. Startups like Grey Orange India USA are using AI-powered warehouse automation, whereas Vahan India connects blue-collar workers to jobs through messaging apps. These companies prove that AI and digitalization are leveling the playing field, allowing smaller companies to compete in global markets with data driven insights, automation, and connectivity. Digitalization is not just about technology as we see in the slide, it's about creating opportunities for businesses to scale, innovate, and connect globally. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And that's what we explore today of how digitalization is shaping industries, driving new revenue models, and redefining leadership. Let's look at some of the key success stories that prove the power of digital transformation. Let's examine the impact of digitalization across different industries. The first one to start with is healthcare. Telemedicine surged by 154% during COVID-19, expanding care access and reducing healthcare strain. We all are aware of how the pandemic took over, and it was necessary that such a tool was there to ensure that there is no major strain on the healthcare system, and it worked wonders. For example, with Pfizer, the vaccine development accelerated because they leveraged AI to the fullest. On the other hand, Abbott, using AI wearable powered devices, transformed diabetes management. The second industry sector, logistics. We are aware about blockchain that it reduces invoice processing time by around 43%, which has ensured that global supply chain work seamlessly. Amazon has used AI-driven logistics to improve its delivery accuracy, and its operational cost was reduced down by around 30%. It's a huge number. Mercs, on the other side, use blockchain adoption to ensure that there is shipping transparency and reduce delays. Automobile industry and energy, Tesla, BMW, with Tesla, predictive analytics and IoT reduced the maintenance cost by 20% and improved energy efficiency. BMW could bring down its manufacturing costs by around 25% by making sure that there are no production errors. Smart grid has helped MSMEs lower down their energy consumption cost and also has enabled renewable energy integration with the use of AI. Banking and finance. Beyond manufacturing and logistics, let's look at the role of banking and finance, media, education, and retail. With banking, the AI could develop fraud detection, which saved the industry over $218 billion. Blockchain, on the other side, ensured that there is transparency and reduced banking inefficiencies. The example of Goldman Sachs, where AI enabled forecasting, improving the market analysis accuracy. We are aware about media and entertainment with how AI is improving the customer engagement and retention by around 80% with Netflix and Spotify. And Disney has been able to optimize its production workflow and audience targeting. Retail, we're aware about Walmart and IKEA leveraging the inventory management and reducing as well as making the shopping experiences great for customers. Education is not left alone. Education has platforms have been personalized by AI, which has increased the efficiency and engagement of the students and the adults globally. Coursera has also integrated course recommendations and user learning paths, which has been a great achievement in the education sector. Improved learning outcomes by 15 to 20% by gamification strategies by Duolingo has also been an achievement. Now let's see how the need for Industry 4.0 is there for trade growth. Industry 4.0 is revolutionizing global trade by integrating IoT, AI, and robotics and automation, which is enabling them to scale the business, streamline the operations, and remain competitive. Let us look at some key examples. L&T successfully implemented IoT and smart technology to optimize its construction projects by using real-time sensors on construction sites. L&T has reduced operational inefficiencies and cost overruns. It has improved its resource utilization and project timelines, and it has enhanced client service worldwide through instant project insights. Now, with Industry 4.0 impact on the industry. On the right-hand side of the slide, we see that IoT and robotics have been able to bring in predictive maintenance, which increased machine efficiency by 30% and reduced downtime by 20 to 50% as per McKinsey. GE's digital twins along with Siemens. These are the two companies that the company followed and found out that they are implementing digital twins, saving over $1 million annually by using AI-powered simulations to avoid manufacturing and operation issues and optimizing it. Reliance Industries has used it for resource utilization, thereby reducing their waste and improving sustainability. By embracing Industry 4.0, SMEs and large corporations alike are gaining a competitive edge in which they are enhancing their efficiency, cutting their cost, and driving global trade innovation. This slide has been made to make us understand about what exact role does digitalization play. The power of digitalization in trade, in which digitalization is the catalyst. Let's take a look at how leading companies are integrating digital technology. Wipro, Infosys, Reliance, and here Amazon and Tesla are leveraging predictive analytics to enhance operational efficiency. By this slide, and with the details that I have covered with you, we are here to understand that digital transformation is not optional. It's a foundation for a long-term business resilience. Moving on to the key challenges that digital transformation imposes. Every good thing has got its own negative side too. While digitalization offers immense opportunities, it also comes with challenges. Let's start with leadership complexity. Digitalization is demanding an adaptive leadership. It has been found in research that 21% of the leaders reported reduced mental well-being due to transformation. We know that leaders have to move into a transformation process to ensure that digitalization is welcomed into the industry and their company, and they are supposed to instill it for better performance. So leaders have to have an adaptive leadership to imbibe digitalization. The second one, cybersecurity risks. Cyber crimes are projected to reach $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. The stark reminder of the colonial pipeline attack puts forward the vulnerabilities of digital transformation. We need to look into all these challenges. Third is the digital divide. Despite technological advancements, 37% of the global population still lacks internet access. Bridging this gap is crucial for inclusive growth. The last but not the least is the environmental impact. It's surprising to know that despite technological advancement, 37% of the, I'm talking about environmental impact, that without sustainable practices, digital technologies contribute to increased emissions and electronic waste. Predictive analytics and IoT can help optimize resource use. Navigating these challenges requires a balanced approach, and leveraging digitalization while addressing these risks through leadership and strategy is a must. Coming on to the emerging opportunities. While we have discussed challenges, let's now look at the emerging opportunities that digital transformation brings. The first one, and liked by me, was the Web3 and blockchain, because this has decentralized platforms, then thereby reducing the cost by 20 to 30%. The stark example for Web3 and blockchain is the Merck's trade lens, which they have used to bring in the global shipping and balancing it. What it has done, it has enhanced the transparency and faster reconciliation process. That's what Merck's trade lines have done. The other technology, which is the digital twins, here we see with the data that the projected market is expected to grow from $6.9 billion in 2021 to $73.5 billion by 2027. These virtual models enhance manufacturing, logistics, and predictive maintenance. So there is a need for this technology to also boom. Last is the carbon neutral trade. We see in the example that the EU carbon tax to impact $60 worth of imports annually. This shows that sustainability is becoming a competitive advantage. With net zero emissions and carbon neutral business models, it is necessary that companies embrace these emerging opportunities too. So, where are we headed now? By 2030, global trade will be shaped by three key factors: leadership adaptability, which is the key, AI powered decision making, sustainability in trade, and to thrive in this digital economy, as far as the long term experience goes, it is necessary that we need to embrace this holistic strategy of the three key factors. That brings the end of the first pillar that we were talking about. Now, it's been almost 20 years that I'm being in this field. I have met various businessmen with various issues from all sectors, like from ranging from manufacturing to IT. And whenever they met me and or they took services from the company, it was found that the digitalization was a strain on them. Now, how does a leader form a part of digitalization? Initially, when we started the operations around 18, 20 years back, the market was not expanded. It was not to a global platform. But as the market started expanding and the need for more efficiency and the need for a proper bottom line was understood, the pressure on the leaders to maintain the bottom line was the part here of their growth. Now, for a leader who runs the business, has to look into the internal and the external operations as well as the regulatory. The leader has to be resilient in nature. And it was found that the leaders are supposed to be having mental focus, physical vitality, and social intelligence to inspire teams and sustain growth. Now, when we combine digitalization and leadership, digital transformation is not just about adopting new technologies. It's about how leaders manage the change. And here, change mechanism, whenever it triggers, the leader is supposed to be performing. Now, let's see of how and what leaders are supposed to be. We have learned about leadership styles, we have practiced them, we have learned about why these leadership styles and how they perform with the company and the industry. But it was seen that the leadership and digital platform were based on three aspects. One was the transformational leadership, where the leader had to drive the innovation and adaptability in uncertain environments. The leader was supposed to be authentic and value-based. In various C-suite sessions, it was found that the leader expected the subordinates to be highly digitalized, embrace digitalization, whereas they themselves did not participate in the training programs and they were not well equipped of how digitalization functions. Now, when a leader takes a lead, is where the company has better views for the future, a better direction, and where the employees also feel welcomed and they feel authentic and value based under the leadership of the leader. Now, study shows that leaders proficient in digital tools are more efficient in driving the change. However, when leadership fails, the well-being component also takes a crucial role. The pressure of digitalization, the pressure of leadership, if not well sought with the industry or the company, it is but sure that they would not be able to provide mental resilience to perform under pressure and inspire stronger teams. Let's look at two companies where we studied and found that leadership helped the company grow with digitalization as well as making stronger teams. Now, with Infosys, the reported 5% quarterly revenue increase, attributing its growth to its integrated technology solutions with enhanced leadership resilience. The other company that we observed was Procter and Gamble, which produces the highest level of CEOs. And here, the leaders are trained in a manner that they are well equipped and they perform with higher job satisfaction and show decision making skills. Now, let's get to the aspect of my observation or the company's observation with the leaders, the industries that we worked with. Here, post COVID and during the COVID era, we found that the leaders who were reporting to us, as well as the companies which are coming for services to us, showed three aspects of issues. We found either the biological aspect was in problem, or the psychological aspect was in problem, or the social aspect was in problem, or all the three were the problem. Now, leaders with age has to work under pressure in time. And here, because of long working hours, long pending deadlines, a lot of pressure from customer side, the leaders were not able to manage their energy and their physical well-being reported either blood pressure, diabetes, anxiety, or fear. And it was found that from the biological aspect, the leader was not able to contribute to its fullest. Coming on to the psychological impact, the, the point of decision making and EI. Now, decision making is the key element for any organization by any leader. Along with the studies that we studied about IQ, we studied about EQ, we studied about SQ, and later on, performance quotient came in. But of late, we see that EI matters a lot with the leaders. What is EI then? EI is a combination of self-regulation, self-awareness, empathy, motivation, and social skills. We found that leaders were missing key components of EI or emotional intelligence. Now, the slide shows examples which is readable. I will not be covering them. Now, I will be moving towards the social aspect. What was more important with the leaders as well as the companies was that was social intelligence. The key to attending to the customer and the team needs was supposed to be looked into. Now social intelligence was lacking in the leaders, and hence we found that this model was effective for leaders where they had to be evaluated on the bio, psycho, and social model of leadership development. Now, what was the impact of the model? Leaders demonstrated improved adaptability to organizational change, stronger decision making under pressure, and enhanced team and stakeholder collaboration. Now, we are well known about the iceberg concept. I have studied, or we all have studied either the Freudian concept or we have studied the management concept with regard to iceberg. Now, here, the most important part is the overlap of the three dimensions, that is physical, mental, and social. Let's start with the mental and social overlap. Now, when leaders were not able to perform, their mental and social overlap showed that their cognitive resilience was questionable. Now, what do we mean by cognitive resilience? Is that the leader was not able to identify the problem space and had issues with problem solving. Now, this had a major impact on supportive leadership environments for the whole company. Looking into the mental physical overlap, it showed that leaders had poor mental clarity, and many a times it was found that the anti-fragile ability to recover from setbacks was missing. And hence it was necessary that the mental physical overlap was to be strengthened so that the leader can show effective leadership. When, with regards to social and physical impact, the overall resilience of the leader was questionable here. And many a times it was found that the intrinsic and the achievement motivation of the leader was not in place, and it impacted the long-term leadership success of the leader with himself as well as with the industry. Thus, this slide concludes that leadership is not just about skills, it's about resilience across mental, physical, and social dimensions. Now, let's look into how the industry has responded to the biopsychosocial model. With our research intensive in the last 3 to 4 years, we have found that companies have either been able to tackle the mental aspect or the social aspect or the physical aspect. There were very few companies, or we have not yet found on data, where all the three, mental, social, and physical aspect of the model is been covered by all the companies. Now, when we look at the digital detox movement by Finland to sleep hygiene by the NAPPOT by Google, the individual aspect of the company's approach to the biopsychosocial model was found. The need for integrating the biopsychosocial model in today's world to build resilient leaders is a necessity. In this slide, we see that the organizations of tomorrow will be led by those who align technology, leadership, and mental well-being seamlessly. The part is here that the technology drives efficiency. We are aware about it. Leadership guides transformation, and mental well-being sustains success. We already discussed that how technology brings in the efficiency. We've understood how leadership is very necessary for the transformation. But the third part, the human connection, which we talk about the mental well-being which sustains success, it is necessary to navigate the uncertainties of the future. The leaders must develop the capacity to balance innovation with the human connection. The best performing organizations will be the ones that invest in leadership development while ensuring workplace well-being. This brings us to the often overlooked but critical component of leadership success, the mental health in business. Mental health is not a luxury, it's a strategic imperative for long-term business success. The cost of neglecting the mental health, as we see that the global businesses lost around $1 trillion annually due to stress, burnout, and decreased productivity. Employees in such environments, they experienced reduced engagement in their work, they had lower creativity and high turnover rates. The benefits of prioritizing mental health is seen that when companies invest in mental resilience programs, a 21% increase in productivity was found. This brings to the conclusion that the best performing businesses recognize that a mentally strong workforce is a productive workforce. This brings to the very important question, why mental health well-being matters in business. Despite growing awareness, many organizations still underestimate the impact of mental health on productivity and innovation. Now, here, when digitalization is not bringing in the efficiency or not bringing down the lags in the business or not able to improve the efficiency, the leaders tend to be under pressure and again due to their inabilities in transformation with the digital part will bring in a lot of mental health issues. The one such major aspect seen was when they are under pressure, the problem solving aspect or the problem solving training was to be imparted, and it was seen that this drops, the problem solving ability drops. The delegation of work without accountability and responsibility was also a problem with leaders experiencing issues with transformation and not able to bring digitalization efficiency. The employees were seen to have lack of ownership of tasks. There were no monitoring environments, ensuring that the leader remains under pressure. And definitely, it's a vice versa situation where the leader as well as the employees will be in an environment which is chaotic, under pressure, with no goal and direction. Now, here the employee burnout can be reported, which could impact their innovation and productivity. Now, Google Mental Health Days was seen as a method used by them to bring down the workplace stress and boost the productivity by around 21%. The strategic interventions can be read by you all and need no further explanation from my side. But a final thought on this slide could be that leaders must not only drive innovation, but also prioritize mental well-being to build resilient, high-performing organizations. This brings to the most important slide that I've been practicing for years. There is an old saying, prevention is better than cure. And when I was learning aspects of psychology and management, the aspect of finding issue was not what I was looking for. I understood that issues are a result of losing the ability or the human potential that one possesses. Now, whether it is a human or a company, the potential when lost calls in for intervention. And herein for leaders, these were the three interventions that I brought in so that they could recover from their issues. The first was the CBT program, which is a well-known program, and through which rewiring the negative patterns or thoughts that the leaders are undergoing because they are not able to make proper decision making or not able to manage uncertainty. Now, this particular tool or technique can be used for enhancing the person's decision-making ability, and also helps the person to deal with uncertainty. Now, we call this program as a mind hacker, and many such leaders have been benefited with it. Next is the Iyengar Yoga. There are various forms of yoga, and this form of yoga has been very effective uh, with the studies that we have conducted within the organization. But there are other forms of yoga which also works better. But this was very necessary to bring in so that people have, so that the leaders can be remain calm during a chaotic environment. The physical to mental route via yoga has also been instrumental in ensuring that leaders remain with advantage against their peers. We call this as precision meets power through these programs. The last one was the emotional imagery. Many a times when leaders represented themselves, they used to have visual imageries or emotional imageries of what went wrong into their lives and how bad things are happening. So to relieve them from these visualizations or emotions, so that they get relief from their stress, and they have better creativity, because with the flow of negative visualization or negative emotions, the person's ability to get away from stress and to remain creative becomes challenging. So this program we call it as visualizing success. This was a company which we studied also in the last couple of years, and found that the leadership programs run by them did work well, and employees who reported to our company for their individual development programs, we collected the data, and Tata Group has done quite well in this regard. Now, with this slide, we come to an understanding that digitalization is transforming the way we work. But there is a challenge of how we balance innovation with the human connection. Now, AI, automation, and digital tools are enhancing the production and efficiency. But however, or many a times, there is a view which is widespread, stating that the automation will be replacing the human, which is not true. No matter how automation brings in the productivity and efficiency, the human leadership, collaboration and their decision making, or empowered decision making, is not going to be replaced. Now, many a times this particular statement has been said by me to several professions, that the proficiency and the efficiency would be brought in by digitalization, but the complex decision making with regards to thinking, with regards to decision making, would remain with humans, and that's where we are supposed to take advantage of digitalization. Now, the key balance is that technology should empower people, not replace them. Leaders must integrate digital tools while ensuring mental well-being in their teams. The best organization prioritize both innovation and emotional intelligence. Now, pathways to success in digital ecosystem. I will just cover the main points here. That we understood how we need to leverage the digital platforms for production and efficiency. We understood how leaders should be coming forward to make the change, and transformation relies with them. And when we invest in leadership development, we ensure that the leaders remain effective and their teams flourish with them. At the heart of every successful business transformation lies a powerful combination. Digitalization to transform markets, leaders leadership to navigate challenges, and mental well-being to sustain the success. So here we understand the third part, also very important, that the efficiency by digitalization, the transformation by leadership, and sustainability through mental well-being is an important component. Getting on to the second last slide on understanding the need for integration, this is just a recap of all the three uh, pillars that we were talking about. Digitalization reshapes global trade dynamics. Leadership resilience is critical for navigating challenges, and mental well-being supports adaptability under pressure. This was the message that I was trying to give the audience, and the message moves into saying that it is time that we integrate all the three. Now, before we move into the Q&A, there are some initiatives that the ITC should be taking forward, or they might be doing that. But this slide is an appeal so that various leaders and businesses can be benefited out of it. There is a need to develop a digital trade toolkit to support businesses in adopting digital solutions. Now, under leadership, launching an international trade leadership academy is for to equip future trade leaders. Now, developing a leadership readiness index is also very important, as this will bring access to digital adaptability and resilience. Now, the need for a digital ITC, digital platform to unify global trade. So this was an attempt made to ITC so that many leaders could be benefited. Now, before we open the floor for questions, I want to leave you with three key reflections that encapsulate the heart of today's discussion. Digitalization is the engine of global trade as it accelerates business expansion, enhances efficiency, and reshapes industries. Leadership is the compass that guides transformation. Without a resilient, forward thinking leadership, digital strategies lack the direction and impact. That's the key point. Without a resilient, forward thinking leadership, digital strategies lack direction and impact. Lastly, mental well being is the foundation of sustainable success. The most effective organizations are not just the ones that adopt technology, they are the ones that prioritize the people behind the transformation. A workforce that is mentally resilient is more productive, innovative, and engaged. As we move forward, the question we must ask ourselves is not just what's next, but how can we create a future where innovation, resilience, and human well being coexist? I welcome your questions and insights. Let's engage in a meaningful discussion on shaping the future together. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that very informative presentation. Before we jump into the Q&A, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you Adam FTD, a powerful platform designed to help businesses and individuals streamline their workflow and enhance productivity. So whether you're looking for advanced data management solution, a seamless integration, or innovative digital tools, Adam FTD have you covered. So to learn more about it, please visit adamftd.com and discover how it can transform you the way you work. So yes, let's move on to the questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to type in your question here in the Q&A box. And while we are waiting, I just want to announce again that this webinar is recorded, and feel free to visit our YouTube channel, International Trade Council. And you should receive a certificate of participation in the next 24 to 48 hours about attending this webinar. So any questions, please? Thank you. Okay, I have one question here. How can you enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty through digitalization?
Okay. Now, when we were discussing the key sectors, we went through the media and the media part, and there we saw that the Netflix as well as Spotify were successful, including Disney and Hotstar, were successful in enhancing their customer satisfaction and loyalty through digitalization. Now, how they could do that? Because they mapped the customer user journey. In fact, AI with regards to business optimization has been adopted by these companies, and because of that, the user was able to personalize what they want to see, how they want to how they want to operate within what they are offered, and hence this is how digitalization has enhanced customer satisfaction and loyalty.
Thank you. Any more questions? All right, thank you. I didn't see more questions here. We still have 9 minutes, Dr. George. So if you have any more things you would like to add, please feel free to do so. Or maybe you can add your email address in the chat box. So if they would like to reach you directly, they can just email you directly.
I've given my email ID.
Sorry?
I have in the chat box, I've given my email ID.
Okay, perfect. So I don't see any more questions. So I would just like to ask our speaker to give his final thoughts about the webinar, and then we can conclude the webinar. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. I have another one here. How can emerging technologies enhance the efficiency of global markets, operation, and supply chain?
Yeah, so very nice question. Now, with global market operations and supply chain, uh, the the AI that have been available was with Ethereum and Hyperledger, where they were able to bring in the right support. But as I mentioned in my presentation, Merck's trade line, they used blockchain. So the emerging technology that would be able to streamline global market operations and supply chain would be the blockchain and smart contracts. So that could be explored by the companies.
Thank you. Any more questions? We'll still have 7 minutes. So again, Dr. George, please feel free to have your final thoughts about the webinar.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the session. So a huge thank you to Dr. George Varghese for sharing their expertise, and to all of you guys for attending our engaging with us today. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to connect with us or to the speaker after the session. And again, thank you again, and we hope to see you in a future webinar. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you.